A new week is here again, and we are hoping that um, we make the best of the new week as well. And I'll be talking about that very, very soon, especially with the news event or economic events that we have for the week. And also, um, obviously, we'll look at the chart as well, look at opportunities that we have on the gold chart, US oil, BTC, and any other pair that any of you guys would put it out in the comment section that we can all have a breakdown or look at. Then we sign off and then we prepare for the week ahead. Right. So welcome you once again. My name is Nana Treats and this is TikTok Live, obviously, and this is our weekly breakdown. Every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. we break down the gold chart and other um, uh, instruments and other currency pairs as well. So we break down the chart, we look out for opportunities we have for the week, and before that, we also look at the economic calendar as well to see, major fundamentals or major news events that we have for the week, and we should also keep an eye on them because um, fundamental data is very very important as compared to technicals. It's good to know both so that you become aware because sometimes it's not actually sometimes market actually moves because of fundamentals or events that are actually happening in real time, right? So these are not fabricated events or um, uh, folklores or whatever, but these are real events that are happening around the world. Whenever there is a major event like war, election, a lot, these events that happen around the world can actually influence supply and demand and also affect currencies also because most of us we are basically trading the currencies and commodities that are that we make good use of or we most countries are making use of them and all that. So obviously when something happens in a country, automatically it affects the currency and then the economy and whatever. So all actually boil down and also affect the charter. So because we are trading directly, with these currencies and other instruments. Okay, so it's very very good that we know what is actually happening around the world. So we can keep an eye. We can also be informed about them as well. Okay. So with that said, I welcome you all once again, and as you can see on my screen, Addison, I see you. We have the economic calendar. That is the Forex Factory. So that is the platform that we use to let me lower that is the platform that we use to monitor the economic events around the world. Okay, so tomorrow, 15th of June, we have G7 meetings or the group of seven meetings. I don't know why this particular meeting is a low folder, like a yellow folder or low impact, is because this is quite serious. Because group of seven meeting, that is the economic powerhouses around the world, are actually meeting and they will be discussing, global economic issues. So I think this particular meeting, I think they're going to have a 3 days meeting. That is the group of seven. I think we have Italy, we have Japan, we have the UK, we have the US, and we also have we also have they also work with the European Union as well, and I think we also have Canada as well. We have France, we have Germany, we have Italy, we have Japan, UK, and then the US, and they also work alongside with the European Union as well. Okay, so major topics that they are going to be discussing, I think, with the impending war that is in Iran, the major event, which is the um, uh, war in Iran, and then the Middle East. Okay, and then the choke point around the Strait of Hormuz as well, and then they're also going to be discussing certain Ukrainian crisis as well. The impact of Ukraine and Russia, so that they can have some address some long-term peace and security issues as well, and also framework strategies for Ukraine as well, and also formats and like bring up aid for Ukraine as well. And then Basically, they're also going to discuss global development and economic stuff as well. So these 3 day meetings is quite serious because economic powerhouses be meeting for the next 3 days, Monday to Wednesday. It means that discussions will come in that would also affect the market as well. So I don't understand why Forex Factory actually labeled these meetings as a low impact, but to me, I think it's a serious business here, considering the fact that the economic powerhouses are meeting and all that. So we have that. We have a look at that as well, and other US related trade because I trade only gold, as you guys know. We have the state Empire State Manufacturing Index at 12:30. I don't really know much about this, and we also have the capital um, utilization rate, industrial production month to month, and other um, economic events. But the major ones I can be looking at is the G7 meetings, and then Tuesday the meeting still goes on as well. Tuesday the meeting still goes on. So as you can see, we have the day two of the group of 7 meetings, and we have cash rate for AUD, which is the interest rate for the Australian dollar. Yeah, for the Australian dollar as well. And then we also have building permits, housing starts, and then import prices on Tuesday as well. So 12:30 p.m. we also have this, and we also have the ADP weekly employment change as well. Right. And then Wednesday, that's the big one for us. After we have NFP, after NFP we have CPI or the inflation rate. After inflation rate, we have the interest rate, which is the FOMC or the funds federal funds rate. Okay, so at 6 p.m. GMT on Wednesday, the Feds are going to release the interest rate for the US dollar. This is a very, very big one, and I don't know what the Fed chair has for us, but if we read the footnote, it says the interest rate at which depository institutions lend balances held at the Federal Reserve to other depository institutions overnight. So I mean, higher interest rate will mean that it could be a boost in the a little boost in the currency. Lower interest rate will mean that we could have a drop of or the we could have a drop or a weakness in the dollar, which will cause more buys on gold. But if they maintain the rate, then it means that obviously we could experience some buying opportunities on gold as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's also accompanied with other, factors. We also have the FOMC statement, economic projections, and whatever. And then we also have FOMC press conference as well. So mostly, what one thing I've actually realized over the past few months trading FOMC is that sometimes mostly the real move actually happens 30 minutes to 1 hour after the after the time after the data has been released. Okay, so mostly we could have some noise coming in from 6 p.m, but if you relax and then you wait maybe 30 minutes or from 1 hour after the news, we could have a good entry for us to get in. Whether we could have a sell or buy, I can't tell, but we wait to see what the data would give us, then we trade. But I'll be looking at things technically as well, because that's where my strength actually is. This is just information for us to be aware that at this point in time there's a major news event happening, so we should be careful whenever we are trading. Okay, but before that, we also have core retail sales and the retail sales month on month. President Trump also speaks around the New York session open around 1:30 p.m. So I think his speeches are really dangerous in a way, because they really affect the price movement or the market movement. So we should keep an eye on that as well. So that is it for Wednesday. And then on Thursday, what do we have? On Thursday, nothing much. The usual unemployment claims, and then Fed Philly-Fed Manufacturing Index. What is it about? It says the level of diffusion index based on surveyed manufacturers in Philadelphia and usual effects. This is quite. This is a medium impact, which means it carries some sort of weight as well. But on the flip side, moving a bit further um, from the US dollar, we also have the bank rate or the official interest rate for the British pound also being released at 11 a.m. GMT as well. And we also have the CHF for as well. We have SNB policy rate as well. So we also have other major news happening around other currencies as well. So if you trade other currencies, you can see that this week is quite packed. This week is quite packed with lots of fundamentals with regards to interest rate and what have you. So please, when you are trading, be very very careful because this week is quite packed. We have interest rate being coupled with G7 meetings, a 3-day G7 meeting right from Monday to Wednesday, discussing economic events and issues that is happening around the world. The major one being um, the Iranian war, the war in Iran, as well as other economic factors as well, which is going to be discussed in the meeting. And then on Friday, I think we don't have much. On Friday, we have a bank holiday in the US, so which means that my trading week actually ends on Thursday, and that is the we have um Juneteenth, so an Independence Day for African Americans. So the African Americans would be celebrating their independence from slavery, and that would be observed in the US as well. So because of that, we wouldn't really have much activity going on in the US sector or the USD chart. All right, so that is it for economic data. Lots of events happening in the week. Quick recap: G7 meetings. Wednesday we have Fed's interest rate, and then on Thursday unemployment claims, and then we wrap it up for the week. So I'm hoping that within the week we will definitely look at some fundamentals here and there and some opportunities. But I'm very sure, God willing, on Wednesday we'll be trading live we'll be trading the interest rate live here on TikTok. So please keep an eye on that. I'll be giving the information or any updates inside the Telegram community. So if you've not joined, kindly head straight to the link in my bio. Then you can join my Telegram community. So back to where we love to do most, that is the technical analysis for the week. And last week was massive sales. It actually started from the last 2 weeks, right from NFP, where we saw that huge sell-off, and continued the week after. We see gold moving all the way straight to a strong. So we could see that gold was actually targeting the $4,000 range, right? So it was actually targeting 4,000. So once it got to 4,000, that's when we see a huge rejection. That is what that strong buys that we saw last week, Wednesday or so. I think last week Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah. So looking at it now, I think that this whole bullish move that happened, God knows when, over the years, over the months, I am very, very sure that price has finally corrected itself and is ready to pump up again. In my opinion, looking at things critically on the weekly time frame. Although I can see from the most recent structure on the weekly, there's a strong bearish trend over here right from the bottom. But currently as we speak, there's a huge reaction from 4,000, and price is currently pushing up. So looking at this reaction, this is a very strong rejection, because this is what I was actually expecting on gold, because I was looking at gold not selling further because I don't know what has brought with the strength in the US dollar for the past few weeks. But at this time around, looking at things technically, I think that um, the buys were actually being corrected at some point. So this is where it ends for me. What I think is it is because 4,000 is quite a round figure, so which means buying off from that area, we could have I'm putting this on record that we could have gold going straight to 6,000, possibly in the long run for a long term. Because looking at how price is reacting over here, technically looking at what is happening, we are going to experience more buys on gold from now to probably the end of the year. But let's see what happens. But we are still looking at more opportunities on a daily basis. So we go back to the lower time frame, which is the daily time frame. As you can see, huge sell-off, price reacting from 4,000, almost at 4,000. You didn't really get there, so like 4,000, 40, 39, 40, 30, 40, 27 area. But I think the major area that we was actually looking out for was 40, 99 or 4,100 or 4,100. Yeah, so that was the area that we see clearly price has been bouncing off. Price has actually bounced off, and currently it is attracting this area, right? So I am actually anticipating more buys on gold. That's what I'm anticipating. But here lies the case where we have a strong resistance here as well. This is a strong resistance in my opinion. Right? So this is a strong resistance. So I'm still of the view that gold could get back to 43.30. Right? I'm still of the view that gold will get back to 43.30 because of the reaction from the weekly demand. And nothing much over here going on the daily, but on the 4-hour we have something interesting going on where we could see that price is currently within a range at the moment. All right, so ranging market, we could see price from the most recent structure, strong bearish trend. As you can see, price moving series of lower highs and lower lows. Clearly, let me make it bigger for us to see very well. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Then it taps into the weekly demand. And what did we see? We have a strong bullish trend, bullish candle over here, reacting from this demand, signifying a very strong bullish presence at the moment. A very strong bullish presence at the moment. So what I'm looking out for is that maybe price could bounce off from this range here, right? Price could bounce off from this range here and then push up. But if not, then we could have a little, retracement. We could have a little retracement back into 4,100. Then we could possibly have a strong push all the way to the upside. So if you don't have an immediate, buy off from this area, which is where currently gold is, you can see that it's currently ranging, and ranging markets can be very confusing. It can be very stressful sometimes. So, but in a way, we can still look at some opportunities on intraday basis as well. But I'm looking at things from the long term. From the long term, I'm seeing a buy off from 4,100 all the way to the highs, or to the daily supply of 43.30, right? So within this area, if you want to look out for opportunities, but I am still of the view that price would go bullish. I am still of the view that price could go bullish. All right, so this is where the range actually is. So you can see strong area of supply in the 1 hour. We have a bounce off, and possibly we could see that the bulls are not backing down at all. The bulls are not backing down around this area at all. So definitely we could have a bounce off from here. If it doesn't happen, then price react to any of these intraday supply zones, and then we can have a slight retracement back into this zone, because this area hasn't been retested. when price bounced off, it just um had this strong push all the way to the upside. So once we have a strong push, whether to the upside or downside, price would definitely correct it. So that is what has actually happened in the weekly time frame, where we saw that huge sell off that happened in the in the past few weeks. So which means that let me just show us once again. So you can see that we had a strong push all the way to the upside, and then price had to correct itself. So market doesn't move in a straight line. So you see that there's a strong push all the way to the upside, and then price has to now come all the way to correct itself, gain some extra momentum, and then push off again. So that's what I'm looking at. So a similar situation could be happening in the lower time frame as well. Similar situation could be happening in the lower time frame, where we have this strong push all the way to the upside. So price could correct itself by coming all the way down. It's not actually showing that okay, we could have a sell off, but definitely right from here there's a strong demand that price has actually reacted from, so it would respect that level. So the fact that price has actually respected this level is a strong indication that the buyers are in control at the moment. The only way that the buyers are going to lose control is when price creates a new low. Right from here, this acts as a potential lower high, and then it breaks this level. If price breaks this level, then trust me, we are going to be gold is going to be tanking all the way to 3500. All right. So the statement I made moments ago, that we are going to have a push all the way to the upside, it heavily relies around this area. So price must not break below. If price breaks below this zone and closes below this zone, especially on the daily and the weekly time frames, then trust me, we are going to have more dumps on gold. So I'm of the view that any sell-off that's going to happen, would start reacting from this area, that is 4100, then continue all the way to the upside. And if it breaks below, then trust me, more sales are happening. Right. So this is my simple analysis on XAU USD, that is on gold. If you have any questions, please you can type it in the comment section, or if you want me to look at any instrument or currency pair as well, you can also type it in the comment section, then we can all look at it together. Are we okay? Guys? Are we okay? Guys? Thank you so much, Sound off. Right, great. So let's quickly look at some other instruments. BTC, BTC. What's happening on BTC? Oh, okay. Guys, hold on. All right, so BTC. At this point, I actually anticipated a sell-off over here, but this is on the weekly time. On the weekly time frame, we have some demand zones that BTC is actually reacting from, right? We have some demand zones that BTC is actually reacting from. So we have this area here, right? Strong demand level or a potential buys on BTC, but currently it's still playing around the level, so we don't have to say much about that. But currently, as you can see, price is intending to close above it. But let's see what's happening on the daily time frame. As you can see, daily strong, BTC is going to push up. BTC is going to push up. So right from this demand zone, I see some level of, let me see it very well. So we had strong sales happening right from May into the new month. So we have the strong sale coming up over here, but I think that the close above wasn't really great for me because I can see clearly that this daily candle made an attempt to close up, but currently we have 3 hours left for this daily candle to end. So I'm hoping that it only reacts and then closes above. If it closes above, then we have a positive, more bullish sentiment on BTC. But if it doesn't, probably we might want to retest the zone here, right? Possibly retest the zone here, then push up. But currently, it's kind of rough here, and I like the fact that price has actually reacted from strong demand, which is around 60,000, a round figure as well. So which means that price dropped all the way to 60,000. Maybe buyers are still interested, pumping in some money here and there to maybe push price all the way back to the upside. But it's still not confirmed yet because currently, as you can see, I don't really have the bullish presence isn't really strong around this zone. So don't be surprised if we still have a sell-off on BTC. So let's be keeping an eye on BTC at the moment. I can't really tell what's happening because as you can see, even on the 4 hour, clearly it's ranging at the moment. It hasn't really broken above the structure very well for me to confirm that that's actually broken structure. And I think we are going to be having some level of ranging or consolidation around this zone. So for now, BTC is ranging in my opinion, and a sell off back to 60,000 could be possible. A sell off back to 60,000 could be possible, and if we have price breaking below 59,000, then it means that it's not really looking good for BTC. So BTC investors, stay strong, stay strong. That's all I can say. Stay strong. Yeah,
Close your eyes.
stay strong. But if we have a push up, then we could have something interesting going in. That's one beautiful thing about being a forex trader. You can see things in real time, make a decision in real time because you understand technical analysis rather than just pumping your money into a crypto and then hoping that over time it actually pumps. And we have good cryptocurrencies in a system that has actually done well. Some projects have actually done well, created lots of returns on investments, but we are still in the crypto space. We are still trying our best to get back into it and make some money over there. But once you understand real-time trading as a forex trader, you understand technical analysis, you can know when to buy, you can know when to sell off your assets or when to get back in. That's one interesting thing about being a forex trader. So BTC is quite ranging. I don't know what else that BTC has to offer yet, but currently it's still ranging. Maybe when we meet, God willing, on Wednesday for FOMC interest rates live trading, we would definitely come back to BTC to see how it has performed after some few days. Right. So that is it for BTC and US oil. I think last week, I remember last week, predicted that we're gonna have a sell-off from here, and as you can see, price has actually reacted. I made mention of the fact that we have made mention of the fact that we have group of 7 meetings. They are definitely going to discuss the Iran war and possibly look at a solution to end the war. I don't understand. Sometimes some things I don't understand. This war was actually instigated by the US, and yet they will still have a meeting to talk about how they are going to end the war that they created. Sometimes I don't even understand. Let's leave it at that. I'm just looking at things technically. Like we can see on the daily time frame, strong bearish trend, push from 90 93 all the way back down. And mind you, this area is quite strong. This is a strong demand area. So we don't know what is going to happen. Maybe we are definitely going to see reactions in the coming days, because obviously because of the meetings. The current war that is happening has everything to do with oil, the Strait of Hormuz as well, the passage being blocked, being open here and there, and all that. So there are going to be deliberations, obviously, to see how best maybe the war is going to end. Then maybe we could have some shortage, some reduction in oil prices and stuff. But if it doesn't happen, then we could have a clear indication that we could have um, a huge buys on US oil. So this was just price correcting itself again back into. So you can see there was a range in between 116 to 75, 76 area. So price has been bouncing off the highs, bouncing off the lows, coming a little bit straight, you know, close to the highs, sell off again. But from what I'm seeing, we could have a sell off if this area actually fails. If this area actually fails, we could have a sell off on oil. But if it doesn't happen, we are gonna see price pushing all the way back to the upside. And have you guys also realized that whenever price is heading straight to price gets to a major demand or supply area, be it the weekly or the daily time frame, most of the time there is a fundamental that is around the corner, or some economic event actually happen. So that tells you why there's a relationship between technical analysis, or looking at the chart, and what actually happens in real time. That is political events, news events, and macroeconomics. Okay, so they are actually linked. That's why I keep saying that market doesn't move because it got to a major demand or a major supply area. Market moves because there is a fundamental that is actually backing that movement. And as you can see, this is where US oil is at the moment, back into a major demand zone area, or a demand area, which could possibly break off or push up, depending on the deliberations that's going to happen in the group of seven meeting. That's why I don't understand why on Forex Factory, the G7 meeting that's going to happen from Monday to Wednesday is showing yellow folder, because this is a serious meeting. Talk about the fact that economic powerhouses are meeting, and then they are going to deliberate on these issues, or major economic issues and all. So we are waiting to see what happens. I don't know much about what they're going to talk about, like decisions or deliberations being made whether to end the war or the war may continue, whatever peace regulations or negotiations that are on the table. We are yet to see what's going to happen in the 3 days. So from Monday to Wednesday, these meetings are going to come on, and it will definitely affect the price movement. So we as forex traders, we are sitting back waiting for results or data that's going to be released. Then based on that, you put in a few bags, make sure that price will get into a direction, we make money, then we end the week. Basically that is it. Okay, so we are just positioning ourselves very well, so that when the movement happens, we're already in, we've prepared. That is why every Sunday I try as much as possible to meet us. We talk about economic events, we talk about technical analysis. We also have an outlook of what the market would look like in the coming days as well, right? So that is it for oil. If you have any questions, you can share with me. We can look at it. If not, then I would like to end the session for now. That would be for our weekly breakdown analysis, right? So much information has been shared. I hope you guys learned something today. You have an outlook on what gold will look like, or even other currency pairs as well. Economic data coming in. We have G7 meetings. We also have interest rates for the US as well, interest rate for GBP, interest rate for the Aussie dollar as well. and other currency related pairs. Right. So if you have any questions, please, 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 and please, you can send in your questions. I'll be reading them. If not, then I think that would be it for the week. That would be it for tonight. Like I said, I'll be meeting you guys once again for live trading on Wednesday. Wednesday, we are going to be trading FOMC live, and I am so hopeful that this time around we are going to catch some big moves. This time around, I'm really, really hopeful that we are going to catch some big moves. And because Friday is holiday, we might not be able to meet as well because my live trading is on Wednesdays and Fridays, and then Sundays we have our breakdown. So because Friday is a holiday, maybe I might come back on live on Thursday, God willing, because Friday I'm not going to be active on the chat on Friday because of June 19th, Independence Day for African Americans. Guys, are we good? Are we good? Let me see your reactions in the chat if you are good. Reactions on the chat if you are good. Are we good? Are we good? Reactions on the chat if you're good. Kwame Limitless. Right. So, right. I see you, Kwabna. I see you, Kwame. I see you, Soundo. I see you. Great reactions. All right. So, if there are no questions, then I think that will be it for now. But my few words, final words. Nothing changes until you take a decision, right? Nothing changes until you take a decision, right? So you can have all the knowledge, you can, burn the midnight candles seeking for knowledge, learning your craft. Could be anything, whether forex, anything at all that you are doing. But if you do not, take a decision or take action, nothing actually changes. All right. So whatever you've learned over the years or over the months, it's time for you to, if you have not applied them, it's time for you to actually apply what you've learned so far, and let's see how things turn out. They say knowledge is power, but I strongly believe that applied knowledge is where the real power lies. So you can have the knowledge, but if you are sitting idle with it, nothing's going to happen. So why don't you take that bold move, bold step, and take that action? It could be anything. You want to take a challenge account, go for it. You want to fund that account, go for it. You want to start that business, you can go for it. Just start. Wherever you are, just start. And don't overthink about whatever's going to happen, right? Just take the first step, and most of the time it surprises us how after we take the first step, things actually start turning around. Okay. And trust me, the overthinking is just depression in disguise. I won't lie to you. Overthinking is just depression in disguise. Sometimes when you take a decision, you'd realize that some of your fears were actually it was not actually it was actually irrelevant. Sometimes you overthink things, what could be, what ifs, what if this doesn't happen, what if that happens, once you take that decision, you realize that it was just like, I don't know how to put it. You realize that they were actually not needed anyway, and God was actually waiting for you to take that decision in the first place. You will see how once you take that decision, things will start aligning. Once you start taking that decision. So please, that's my words of encouragement or words of inspiration for us as we enter the new week. If there's anything you want to embark on, you really want to embark on that, you've made your research, you've done what have you want to know what exactly you want to do, but some way, somehow, you're already stuck, you feel stuck, just start with what you have and see how things actually unfold for you. Already, we've started the second half of the year, and trust me, the year will be ending very, very soon. So please, your dreams are still valid. Time is not against you. Take that action, and we will see ourselves at the top in the long run. All right. So these are some few words of encouragement and inspiration for us as we are entering the new week. And I am really, really hoping for us to, you know, flourish, prosper, and be more profitable in our trade because that's what I do full time. So really hoping and believing that this week would be very great for all of us. Catch the big moves. We make our money, we enjoy it, we save some, invest, whatever we want to do. That's the main purpose of trading the market. Enjoy your freedom, enjoy your money, enjoy without any stress. All right. So I'll catch you guys first on Wednesday and then hopefully on Thursday, and then we come back for weekly breakdown on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. But Wednesdays and Thursdays, it is actually the time is not really um straightforward. It can I will just be giving updates in the community. So if you are not in the community, please head straight to the link in my bio so that you wouldn't miss any updates once I put them there. Right. So thank you guys so much for your time. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you who took their time to join the live and also learn some. I hope you learned something from this. And this is what we do every single Sunday and also Wednesdays and Fridays as well for live training. So thank you guys once again. And it's really a pleasure meeting all of you here. So I'll see you in our next meeting. Have a great evening, guys.
Morning in mind, I walked out of the silence.